Abusua we dey mesre na wa like me video na wa share ene nsensema hodo a ekoso ewo my Ghana mu nenam so ama ene bebia befa bia no NPP ni NDC NPP ni NDC omo de afe so ni nyina eye basabasa ya ebinum susu se ekoso o man ni mo enye Abronye DC me kire kwa me bafo sese de omo kire se bebia woda no enye kura nanso so Judge ya otra na asem no so no omye adadwene se wo makwan ama abusuafo mpo atimi domani mpo akakohwe no mpo ne lawyer kora no wo no na edi animu se wo behwe na watwitwa ede age Abronye no mpo ne lawyer no mpo ne yema ne kwan ema wonom enkonko hu no se MPP amonyokuo wonom asode agina wo mo na so se wonom mpene ema de ekon enkoso a enkosa ne santi Wanuma petition ewiase amansan kabom kuo ne nkorabata hwe asomdwe bambo ene atentere ne nsensem so se wonum mra na womfa womani emra medi akire bia sesi a me no kasa di asem no eya called the International Criminal Court wa ani eya enyan pa na ene enkomatwetwe bebre no a na ekoso anopai na ebre ya NDC amonyokuo no mode hye ba ko ne NPP kokohia na mpa Womo bibi mo fifi mo am yehunu se NDC fo no kura ebi no nya case na nsen ya na so ebi ho no ma de anche so obehu an se NDC ne ama na bail se wonko na Abronye boni benko an okokọ ye ya judge se nya de obema ne bail ama na akofie da kosi se o mbeka na asema wi ntebe se bo mfie nan mpo ne yenka na asema nwie ya na che se bail de nya de se obema ne bia no ena se ebi no mu kyerese ye ntenchia ebi no mu kyerese de ekoso no nya de se betimi de asomdwe de abra o man nti aban wonhwe na wonhwe ne nene NDC ne nankasa wotwe ne phone na wohwe adanse ano wo e wo so se NDC fo ye yi wo mu afre ye twa mu case mu ne ade no na afi de na NDC ne na ohunu baabia ode ne nsem efai na so yenko tie interview no se de course wadaroma ya no like me video ni wa share ne chichiro fo adwen kire bra yenko tie nkomo ne bi
Well, NDC so okay, read it for me.
You see, yeah, Kansema.
NDC Sotium branch organizer granted 100,000 bail pending appeal.
Exactly.
Okay.
That person is out. Omoba power and omo file sadro, and he has been released. Almost no more appeal. Appeal no more, appeal no any go through, but he's now on bail. You know if you into another watch, I say one year friends, one this information. That is the information I'm providing to you. He's out. Oh man, minua I can say me bre say obi a ya charge no with misdemeanor ene de account. Enti ono akasa redeem rana na ode ya analysis no. Esenka ono na oye police ni ana se memfa say oye prosecutor ene ode Abronye kokoto a. Enka nya misdemeanor na esenko charge. Na issue ben ode yemfa
no charges are so in 2007 you to the charges in
you see when you do some of these things me say Tete,
Asia me ba.
In windows.
Asia. Oh, kasa no. I so be usi Mr. I'll give you your time.
Mr. The first one na make actually say NDC so trum ni na wo kana say men ko kana ba bia dem oda so the prison ye ja no ntifa to tim. Sa in windows na me no tran program so ya on tiase e na onye say no. Mr. Omakacho several times say don't underrate my intelligence. Mr. Sa in windows na ya woye ebia we onim wonte ase na yi no I mean niam me nim no look adwuma ye nti amode say ye ba my topics.
That's right.
And the minimum you need to go and read. Me ya communicate and better say na mabo meeting na make asa. I speak with facts. In this in windows no mesro me nua no me pe wasem ya na we just answer kan wonte ase onim ne those kind of things. Minim pa mesro. You see enti say Abronye issues na ye kan ye peni ye mu pa. Charges na ye de abono de na che senke money bill. Even Martin Pebu versus Attorney General issue now go to your analysis no. The same case you know actually say every case bia even murder billable.
That's right.
Inti say bia judge you know say no nonsense man. Inti Abronye aya dia if you say nonsense inti no money ba. Then you tell us say that is why he's not being released. Because issues no ye dey call ya wan kasa wat trase ya wat church rim de ka ho nyina no obia ni wo a obeka say ade we say nke ma Abronye bill this adwe no e wo team say what prejudge the case already because who the based on Abronye ne character enti say de onye ye kra na enam so wo si wadidi atem wakan tema from kufu enti say na tie de akwambia so e say me jeli no enti already no wo de atu team say akwambia so e say Abronye ko jeli yem fact case no nye say yemfa no nkosie until said the final determination of the case na se case no emfia me and some fear 9 and you determine case now. That means you are keeping him for 2 years, 3 years. That's why he's telling us. Uja no oba obey the same thing now. Why? Because why you be paying? Until na odi kan make say similar offense, you know, different from a different offense and offense.
That's your own understanding of the law.
Fine. That's my understanding. That is my understanding of the law. And you know, that is my understanding of the law. And I'm telling you, say, what you think is fact is not fact. It's not factual. And to me, I want to say the own name no I open said Debbie can hold the end said Debbie ya jitu. Oh man, and someone this for a kind of kruma ubi ankochi omono. Yeah, I know want to I mean you can say the hypocrisy of the NPP. You come on with hypocrisy power kruma and NDC led by the current president John Mahama. Na se mre ho a nka me expose those things yi na de akiro ah wo ye president ya una wo opposition what be the president pen kra ko na you branded all the judiciary say omo ye appendage of the New Patriotic Party ene issues na aba no you want to tell us say eno the president no enim ho hwe na mo judiciary no e na omo ka mo asem abrante ya so tom dia wo ka mo asem se nka wo ready further o more reasons didn't ya almost sentence no we are quite aba. We see ube citizens Ghana, including the certain IGP. IGP no take you no do you have to come and bring the president? Na court na say your sentence wa. We say kasa okoka intia. Freedom of speech no ho. But yes I want to so me wo freedom of speech intino you say ye ne nkofo bi abopo say aban na oteso no de o yemti ye nkotu aban ntu. Eno nye freedom of speech. Wo ho kwan say obekasa. Until your freedom also ends at where somebody is supposed to be pleased. And you contrast in all cases, you become citizens because about we are to say NDC and when ya not just IGP in crop for a realm and no more demand. IGP no casa you become no. Now can't say we are say freedom of speech. Your uncle and no whatever to Abronye case was Abronye can't say a judge no or a political judge. She fell scratch off for some more kind of my way. In some more kind of my way. And then even some judge is telling us, "I never now all you need now. You the aboa NDC and the man NDC to make them win a parent to a playing role and NDC win a power." Na near Mamokai. Ah, Malik Basin tell it, ya ne ya born a baswa any CEO ewo a yefen say youth employment agency. Wanya baumia picture. I'm fansa and shannon sending from beer. I'm for Prekoti, I'm fan to the Sabukum. Ya yen name say a haram against the Islamic religion. What is to be quachelo? President no action nim abos abrante na basonde. And now we see you. Na satam ne ya chichichicha. And na make say MPP aban no eye ba ko mienu miensa. Na wo se enye. Enu nti Ghana fo bufu ye no mkoto abati aye. Wo ba ne na wo se under reset no. Wo ye worse. So why did you vote against the MPP? We didn't do right. That's why we are in opposition. Ya to about the amount. Wo ba ye no wo se be reset under 133 formula 133. And no fiasco anye bibia ankusi bibia what oput abamu ne wo akisu akufu ado aban se akufu ado aban even agenda 111 now start e kwa ne nyensa bi anim e se nkoye be 30 meanwhile what one ne 261 assemblies we see 24-hour market across they can complete, and even if they're able to complete, most of them will become white elephants. What now of my women as a president we initiate 200 free senior high schools want to be in 21 under World Bank and out to be here. A Kufuado Abane be here more than the Oshas, 200. And today you are accusing somebody, I'll say, or no oil agenda 111. 111 no who a problem. But you don't have problem with 261. And you can't omo hypocrisy. NDC a hypocrite. Exing the political party be Ghana. And the message say the year con who is a message me catch us on my young politician, we should be very careful. You are very careful. You be NPP NDC and police for you and the other security agencies no. Omo dia fa no omo yusu to me be a young farmer.
Okay.
No money yen yamba. And the message say yen nyina baby a yadru no. Senra and enya. Yen kwese yen west and they you justify.
Asha.
Omahine, you see, minu was say me kaso wonimu a wonte ase ene onke kam.
I think he feels that the innuendos and that. So let's draw it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, me yefu.
That's right.
But the me tell say who be here say human be why bedo su ko wumi. And they say me timiaka. And as ko they say me timiaka.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the point I'm making me say. And this is so to organizer. Uko be na no ka asem. Ama court a sentencing for 4 years.
Okay. So the issue of whether he's out or not.
No, you are sentencing for 4 years. That is the position of the law. Say your money bail and just sentence no ya kwashi. Your bail pending appeal.
That's right.
And not just sentence no ya sentence no. Ya sentence on record. He's been sentenced for 4 years. And Mrana American Hanjina me extra honorable. TSS the sentence no but there's a bail. There's a bail appended the appeal. Just appeal no et me di mo wie am a court record assistant and san ya ka say be am convicted. But say see there ya convicted no ya sentence no for 4 years. Honorable TSS Mrana me no ekan. Read the law very well. And the mere for say who headline say ya man bail no. And just an answer no wie where was say the Court of Appeal has granted to Mohammed Ibrahim, the Sotom branch organizer of the National Democratic Congress, who was sentenced for 4 years in prison for threatening to kill citizens during the December 7, 2024 elections. And wa appealing as a man bill sentence no a man 4 years. That's all. Number 2.
Yeah, you man bill, but you
that is the law. That is sentence.
You man bill, you man Abronye bill.
Oh,
so we are threatening so be citizens, including the IGP. You man bill.
Please. Amahine. You see, Mpacho.
Yeah.
You can't bail. You will mra abo bail humba. Intina me ma project, me ma your friends section 96 of the Criminal Procedure Act. Bail, judge na adwini mu no. Ohwe ni o mabi. That way the entire man bail. You see, there's an error on the face of the record. The record before the court, no. It's one of the basis for granting bail under the law. And the Abronye case under 96. I'm thinking now how went he? Me say, so kind exception no. Say yi ni pa no na boni na wa ye no.
Obesa akoye.
Wo record so obetimi a ebie wa. This time na judge no susu say Abronye betimi ebie because ye di kan man bail dada. Bra ya man bail no sa judge na anim. Ya man bail no. When su nyansa san ye sa boni ni bio under the law. Or you have bail la. Yetimi refuse no honorable. Yetimi refuse no. Me can't tell say yetimi refuse no.
And I make catch say there is no case here. I want say any bail.
Oh, but me
so the judge use his discretion.
Honorable.
Until the law now can one say the law no is there. But judge now use this case say that okay say definitely or judge no be quite the same thing. And I say that.
Honorable. Say she say ya na wo kan. Honorable. Monsieur Amra o.
Na me say when the catch say Amra no so use Amra no.
Me nya so say me.
When the catch say use Amra no bi.
Who see our LLB no he?
What are you talking about? Now, when I catch me school now, only you can study. What are you talking about? Even two lawyers, three lawyers to wish out. If you have a different opinion, because what will favor you is what you are talking about. What will favor you? I don't know. Lawyers for where argument where you na go where you go and then say back to be
say court no an ka say
enti me ka say na we ye
Abronye Abronye till our can asem na wi your project ade no wa ha no o say oberemande Abronye until the next return date 27th of this month. That was what the court said. Enti sa propaganda na mo ye say judge ni say oberemande no until I can asem na wi no enya no pre and it can't even be like that because bail there time be awon ho kwan say obey we file be and I make another day say and 19th what's not 20th Abronye lawyers almost call human rights court ako appeal the bail decision of Justice Kunsun. They are going to appeal anything.
Now if you say judgment you are being unruly that time now
you are being unruly
you are saying this you see this is why I always have problem with you so what do ya na wo problem
on the return date omo fa Abronye record on the return date they can move ahead and do whatever they want to do. But this is the point I'm saying.
Finally,
the
time out.
And Mrano wo ho. Some Mrano time no na mu yusu ye. Mama case upon case. The 20th September 2024. And nipa BTC krom so omo ye galam say demonstration okay. Na sa demonstration no me no. Na ba me na ye man panyin because that na Kufu Ado dey what you kwai. Nipa mako 50. But brother me na di anim. na mo chi om ko gu afia se obumpo ha na ekwasiada they were just coming from church they just bumped into a demonstration
o ko demonstration na wo say
wo kan ye no
and what kind of demonstration o ko demonstration na police focus na wo ko we police focus key wo say o ko demonstration
against galamsey a high ensase
enti omo na mo ye demonstration ya kwachi omo
apology of expression aya demonstration
enti omo ye demonstration ya kwachi omo
mo ye sa no
bibia si ya kwachi omo
na say
you see this is the hypocrisy na wo kan wasem na mo ye west say ye ko afuma ye won kraman ya omudi yachi enti say upese ukọ ahayo a ukọ penkrante ne de ka ho a uduru nwam a ukan kraman gu ma na chiro na omudi yachi enu bi ene ehuru senti aban aye say kombia so we use these security agencies you know and intimidate the opposition and I don't think say it's right ye shall see free say bra ye to aba esesa aban na aban we by 2025 oman ye shall see initially they were using one guy your friend Japa
yeah
meaning baby was here or that's all
you
okay I say why quiet kakra me two ne for obekaya NDC president must bar face no more CZ cars upon if you are na friend Worsons
yeah Worsons very
popular no here no but aban ko animu no obi antere nka bi that is politics for you and now whatever me too Jakwafu say they all you know people will use him and it will get to a point here people will forget about him so you should be very careful that is politics and them antere nka bi Abronye na to aba wie ya you say oye in charge of operations say national security no chance here opponents political opponent ni ya boawura ofie omko wura kenofuri atafie okwa na ya dismantle CCTV former governor of Bank of Ghana omko wura ni fie omko ya ko the aid camp of Mahmoud Bawumia no ye vice president omko ni fie ekobu ne door ewuram ekoye searching any the account sa na ya making a doso but e bie ni wa the outcome no be sin ne you hu say anything concrete bi ala ewu omo ye ya ko baby say yakochi container yes fake gold any omo see gold and a fake currency dollars any cities here and they see it from one alaji be see ne omo sa asem no see him fa one alaji no him fa e be see ne it is a gold no na omo so omo achi any sa currency no and there him fa enti they use these things na omo fi say eno na betumi ama the opposition no I am or something like that. This na no former governor of Bank of Ghana omko buru no fie omko ye the machines are na wo ho ye so yakofa box bi e che won say omo ye say yakohunu box bi na ye Bank of Ghana sika na omo di gu mene de yakosi sa na ma wo nyina e ba so wo my way 2025 bi chi ne you hu the outcome of it and e free ho no omo sha say wo a wo be kasa na wo ne aban no enya adwen ye sha say ye nyusu emra e wo ho na ye mfa sha say ye de chiw nti omo chichi ya chichi opposition fo bebre because me bubudi a ye nyina ya nimu asem omo achi hwan na omo nchi no ya chi adenta kumi ye chi ya chi tiktokers ya ye chi fanti comedy ye be chi nkwala ma hiwa minu efiri kumase ha e de omo konkan omo ko shem 2 weeks senye issue bi ne bae e na nkrofo ko no omo ko hu se sa nkwala ma hiwa minu wo ha na obi anim se abeche sa nkwala ma minu no omo de omo ko omo chi ya ko chi se Obama pukuase omochi ya bechi Kofi Nkansa we ye latest one Abronye kra we kan be say 3 times ni Kofi ofosu Nkansa kra omochi no nsema ye gira so a ye say false publications and they kan ho ye gira so a ye chichi nkrofo no bebi sa nsem ni nyina na ye de chi omo one say Obama pukuase ni case na sisen fanti comedy ni case na sisen sa tiktokers na ye chi omo no omo case na sisen enti ye de security no yes ye de ka okasabo aso ye kwa ye ya case no kusi babia na ye jade egu nanu ya see babia ye won nanu ya de buy the latest one na kofa sa na ma wonyi buy ye kochi abrante ba ko a say Doomsday is back e was central region ye chia bechi Misunyan East communication director ya baba Amando dano na me wo hobi ye de no share kam a ye de no konkran na me gina ho Sunyan police quarters head ye first regional police command nipa ba kope police for me ensa e de share kam poa enkran na o ma ye nim se o ma ya ye wo mi ye de mra na ye adwuma se obi aka asem kra na ye fi se bi a aban no ni nipa na nya adwen a Sunyan ye wo high court o There was cyber crime unit now, and the police don't investigate those. So why don't you deal with the issue at that level? Central region here say, your friend is saying, doom so is back here. Central region, you are called to home to me dealing with these issues. But we want to show you something. Now you're temporary ni panel no call. Kofi ofosun kansa se mo kan ya ye kochi no say. Or say information awo ya nkofobia complain ya man say. Scholarship secretariat ya wo se ya no. Say ubenya scholarship wa yi se hutu ya bribe. Okay no mo chi no. Omo chi no no. Oma de ma asem no ye yi ni say similar things are happen ya eye NDC for but ye nchi obia. Baba Mandochi a omo chi no omo say waye publication sa publication no a fake ya o the president Mahama ni image any Sam George any Felix Kwachi ya waye omo say e ma e wo sa against ensem ya e ba ya ho nti sa asem na o kan nti no mbachi no sunwan according to him ye nim say nka free sunwan ko Accra be say 8 hours 7 hours also omo use 3 hours e no mo ni drum kran aduan ko he ma kwa ma wondi bi o tikam ne de handcuff agunisa na Kofi Ofosun kansa dia okai NDC for be nenka bi yankasa Ashanti region Dominic Zuma ya oye MP ewo first akrufum aname wonya ho na oye MP no otra television so public television radio e ka kire yen say school placement na omoye SHS no ubenya admission ono ne constituent obi e ban ho say omomo ano ubenya admission just 30,000 which is 300 million Ghana cedis.
That's right.
Na nipa no oba he no a wantumi anya sad no wakotua sika na konya admission no besi ne obi ammo wanfre no amisa say sa asem na okay no evidence wo hemfa baba amando similar one na wo ye no na no ye e ba se sami jamfi ene opon kroma issues e ba ya so one no nkoye debate ne de ka ho wan hunu pictures ya na omo aye kodu opon kroma na omo ahye ne map itu omo de na to fom na obi sami jamfi kura ne na ya o twe no say he should come for debate. Sani pa no yes ad no NDC aparachikis e no mo postu sad no Facebook what is achi obi enti emra na e wo sisi ana say etwa one side pe senke ye MPP ni ye na wo fi say wadwene mu enye ya friend no ye bisa questions na NDC ni ye no hu say ono so say friend ye bisa questions a enke nyi fi say o man no ye build it together but the selective friend say justice na e koso no that is where the issues are. Oma di aka we nyina ekofa afenyo markensem ba ya NDC for say omo nye parliamentary program di en ko ba e kame akoye se enkrofo no bi ye party for no e be che omo no ye wo two court mienu 2 and 1 kran a wo ye den a ho ne ye do be ko yamfo anko adenta circuit court a ye do be ko Accra court complex circuit court 9 uduru wa ye ti wa no asema ye se aremande o ene ma Abronye ko kan say obiti circuit court e wa denta or ye political judge ono na dwim no enti sa ansem we a Abronye kan no nyina no say wo fi say adokra no say wa kan asem atia judge bi anya no kra we a civil case misdemeanor ya kochi no ya ye de no koye say appear before court okoduru court ho na no court no judge no e say or remanded into prison custody until say ye be kan asem na wi ena Abronye lawyer ka say dabi my lord obeboa ye na ye mfa no ko bie na no so was prison custody ye mfa no ko bie but the substantive issue say ye mfa no ntum ko si say ye be kan asem na wi no it is still pending because the reason how they ma ye ne say o jai Abronye obekwa akoka sa ansem na okeka ye no abiem. Can you imagine this? What buoni pan for that? And this Abronye ye even say 3 months 4 months na so beba na obese ye biem na say yetiam rade a ene ye the opposite ochere say ye mfa no for life because obo be ye biem. And Abronye that I know sa de we ye omo ye no it will not stop him from whatever he's doing. You may have your issues with Abronye. Politics or my say the only organization na say be institutional and I say association yemveti ni pa na yaje no ntu koma abo bia karata wom okusie wom opuro wom amponji wom odwa wom owo wom owo no kra no ye wo different types. That's why we have dots and dots in all the political parties both NPP and NDC. Even the advanced countries now they are there. Abronye will have issues here. If you are assembly or Bekano, Memenka. But that doesn't mean say we should go and kill him. We have a way of dealing with those issues. So you need to control the system in such a way say, Sanya man will be a benny position or Bejina and Kofa Yini Biamo Mino. And this office say, what can be now one in Yadria? Let's use the law to deal with the issue. Now, Judge or Coca Sansim we. The Koba and say, and send no bad a bang. And send no buy no. As a sense, the judgment on Barbonte. Nanka opesa we appeal and I say we move on to high court or even appeals court or one with the oye. Or man, judgment amba for almost 1 week. Until say a fenyo man can be a press conference Sunday. Enra we are yakwada sorry ya a fina judgment never. No kind of judgment to be our man. A bone. This is way a judge. Nanya sa judge ya dia wayan ko ani. So when him say animals judge, animals farm judge ba.
Animal farm.
Or yes, Juma na present or call retirement to present your pejano and no high court. Ya bona baso. Enti charges ni bi ho a Juma mo ye nyina na say almost open promotion. Enti let us do something na e be please those in authority so that we will get that position. Na ye de sa chichire o man ya. Enye yie. Baba Mando e no call the same judge ye nim e was a circuit court 9. Prosecution no ko no omo ankasa nkan se omo yes ye remand Abronye no judge no na force say enti mo nya so say me remand Abronye mamo mo so I don't know cyber issues enti say here no a cyber for no nim ko e fa so ye nsabeka no we nya de obedwana ko bia judge no say da e say mo no ko e no remand no e na e ma ne lawyers e dey call high court human rights. And now Omoka said the judge in here no circuit court it's not proper. And now Omuma Abronye bill. Enti sa judge si mienu a omoti oman mu na adi on person omo ye nyina na say nipa omo tumi say omo ko trust as judges no omo na da bia be ye adwuma omo a ye cheche oman sa ye yie. Eno na minority no e ka ho asem. Na oka na omo aba oh NPP for ye bi NPP for ye say ah oman we were promised reset ananya na the MPP for year na mo ka kire Ghana for say enye what they assuming with that admitting say omo year ya mo say enye no a ye ma mo reset ya wo buy na o ye west something lad ya ye ni mo ankasa mo colleague senior journalist or a lawyer or say ade a sa amra na abai we gira so ha or de echiche nkrofo ebro mo ankasa no Akufo-Addo 8 good years no o de to job Mahama 1.5 years in one e bonko nyam nam kai and that is the system yeah body o man the matiti bi ni say yes o president no nim ho hwe na nkrofo bi na o mo fi say o mpese o mo ya ade bi ma president no they should go and tell this to the Marines not some of us but me fi say o mo hia o na bo hia mo nipa 6 million o mo to aba mo no na o mo aka kire o but not some of us. Didn't na make us a opanyina otra fie ma nkwalawe na nka ye ka na nkawe fo ka ho bi ebra obeka say Akufo-Addo time school for nkwala mienu bi e wo northern region omokodidi Akufo-Addo atem ebra na omokotwere omo SSC emma authorities ka say school no ye you omo afiri man so we kro omo ntwe bi Akufo-Addo say hey stop it don't do it let them go and write their exams they are students. I'm not interested say yedi mi atem and say yedi mi atem. E no mo restore nkwala no mo koyo mo adwuma. Ye nua appear stadium e wo Kumase ha. O kan asem tie Akufo-Addo. Police for ye bi e chi no. Akufo-Addo tie ya no say hey, o man information minister issue statement say I'm not interested in that case. So stop it. E no mo di appear stadium. Enti niema e koso yi senka present en nim ho bi. Say o mo koso na o mo nye sa niema o mo ye ya. I am convinced say Kasabrinka president nkasenka watu na numtu ana wa issue statement. Enti see no evil, hear no evil president. NDC for a okoto ne bodwe. NPP for a. Enti sa petition we ya MPP for the diplomatic call. Yeah. I think say it's in order. Nya first time ni and I don't think say it will be the last time. Obekai ayawa so was gone. Aba e call ye na tutura se me si ho. Say President Mahama, Asia diplomatic phone FPCC omo no omo kasa nti I don't think say it here any mrabia or my way it is their right as a party to do it and I think say near my question no good say because we live in a community yes global world e so omo to hunu near my ekoso e wo Ghana omo monitor no omo hunu near my ekoso we say akoya say aban within 1.5 years na obaye no nipa yachi omo kasa ho kwan nipa more than 16 nipa yachi omo kasa enti eye sa criminal libel law no a Akufo-Addo Attorney General under President Kufuor ya omo yi free 2021 ema media be ye bebre wo ha nkofo tumi kasa those days na kasa na yachi one de ka ho no eno ena nkofo bi pese omo fa back door no omo san de babi. That is exactly what is going on. Apart from that, nobody can convince me say what is happening today, no, and yes, something against our democracy. Now, of course, why you say ya? Because President Kufuor can say be. Maybe or meet the press here be, and no BBC and say, Opani, one obey criminal libel law if you want. Now, Kufuor no more can seem to already account, and to who ana. What's it, Debbie? The Etienne say, so can Sabio Kafrachi in my ending point to good demucha. Na come di omo ubie gate na ubie for supi. That is what is happening in Ghana. Because ya kan man for kasaboa so omo yemu ache. Nti e ba se akwanya ba ye no ubie apese okasa. Asema President Kufuor kai no. So why do we want to go back to those dark days? Ebra okasa na ya fa wo. Nti bi de mesre o man. Said ye akoso yi judges no bi wo ha. Enyema omo ye no emma enkofo enya doubt. Because judicial no ye the only institution as is here no yet you is ya politicizing ye first executive legislature the same thing enti institution ye feel say aka enka ya de obedwana akoto ano any judiciary no and people are politicizing it the NDC or my way or my yet your man we mu emma menuanom NDC for afraid the whole chief justice you see your friend saying okay.
Unanimous 7.
That be Chief Justice Lankasa ye single na out no.
Aye.
Osono mame.
Okay.
Almost some friend say ye NPP women organizer. And this for the what is say you be Kruma. Ye tena krom ha man krofo ka kire ye say Supreme Court na wo hori no unanimous FC. Wakofa o petition 2020 elections will be any say o collect result ye quality 2024 you lose ye no me e ball be 1% na say you lose and this for say that want to be a quality results no mo se mo awene e na mo tabiri yade no mo ko mo court mo judge ye first say mo lawyer panyini chatwuchi kata ho say mo ko akodi asema se nka tia na be ka kire o ka chem say niam na ekura mo nkoto wu na enko ba bia mo ye ya for so ya koye mo koye na say mo nsem no ekoto gu ya mo frɛ mo say omo ye unanimous FC. Now then kama full soldiers bi ni communicators the sitting president current president and no opposition or opposition leader no he also joined that fray and called those judges as unanimous FC. Obi anche no ye tena kroma ma president Mahama nankasa ka say bench no e wo ho no a judges no mo ho nyina no ade say omo ye NPP fence extension of the NPP headquarters into oba NDC for no omo ye lawyers no omo position omo ho na obe balance bench no oba lo and behold for the first time in the history of this country one president within 1 day or appointed 7 judges to the Supreme Court e bin sida ono kwa na ye no see Akufo-Addo and the judges are not more Supreme Court no more 14 o kasati ai enne oba no pagam the come more than 90 for the first time sitting president were appointed judges from the circuit court to the high court to the appeals court to the Supreme Court more than 100 e bin see that in the history of the entino na adwene say or balance bench na o kan ho asem no enti nkrofo bi o adwene say on say o catch the eye of the president no they are doing the bidding of that so that they can get appointment or they will also get promotion and I don't think say that is the way to build a nation.
Thank you very much. Amonja Mamintio
Rappenye mesewa me pese obo amena me yes adi.
Okay.
Me pese u Google section 96 of the Criminal Procedure Act 1960. a science of friend Act 30. Maybe so Google and not to phone also. Medro attention.
Section 96 of Act 30.
Yes, Section 96 of Act 30, a friend of Criminal Procedure Act.
Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act.
Yes.
1960. Act 30.
Yes, as different from Criminal and Other Offences Act. May go to annotated versions now explaining myself now make an. Now master say Kuku obe project transcript from the court. Circuit Court 9.
Aye.
Say Odikan. Odikan.
Yeah, Grace. Transcripts na buy and which me I'm an aqua.
Miana me dey buy. I wanted to help to produce this one.
Okay.
Me pese me bomb home or the main respond to honorable nsem no okan me pese me hear argument based on three issues. The normative position of the law. Say na mrane tie and I say na was emra no eye. Na make the aspect of diplomacy in respect of the petition no modi akon.
That's right.
Me we are measure the politics and the hypocrisy on the part of the NPP. Na mabom humodin sa ahwefo ne atiefo bete yensem no ye kana se. Asembe na asie. Yenua Abronye. Ena otena ne dwumade bia ye frɛ no ohia TV so. Ena ose judge na aya na owo Adenta Circuit Court no. Ye de ensem bi ba be ko ne court wo na ye political odi kan ni police for Asia. Na oyobi a ayese wa hye sack eche friends e boto wo hye boto che na ono de wontwen na mire bi be ba obehu kwan ya NPP nso ba omode no ebe fa so the tough abom ni nsem a
o ma me pese me ba menu ya hia issue but yen kan asem se de tie o hwe the charge sheet ya ere bo Abronye na bebia ni ho a police for na kire se ni nsem na o kan se eye se oko omode asem court ha omone police for education it is not there it is not there it's not part of the charge sheet please let's set the record straight.
You see aya wo se wonya abote so kasamangasa omahene obi obi ni nsem a me kan de obi ni nsem a omahene obeka no eno na police for ebo no tofa na omahwe charge a eno ne se fata mbato so ati ase enye nsem ni nyina na ya churo ni nyina wo ho se eno ne charge no enti wo hwe offense number 1 offensive conduct conducive to the breach of the peace contrary to section 7 of the criminal code. Originally the friend Criminal Offences Act no eno no ma refer no ha say eno na ye criminal code no enti de omo kan say ni nsem a o kan ye nyina no so mo boni nyina atofa in the view of the police asem a ebon na
emasumdue
ma ebon ye kankan a say ye fadwene ho kwa akire betimi di oye ni basabasa ye de aba so obi say oni charge we enya adwene in law a eye ono ana adwene mpa to so ati ase and obi anso ntimi ka say charge we enye ade a eye lawful because ewo mrani mu the police for no hwe Abronye ni nsema o ka kire judge a oda circuit court Ghana no a o ma dwene kire om say sansem we ebetimi amma oye ne basabasa yo aba ma ha o man no asumdwe but also what you say e be say me ya ade bi wa ha ko kan the Criminal Offences Act o mo fa we say free mu no a or say a person who in a public place or at a public meeting uses threatening, abusive or insulting words or behavior with intent to provoke a breach of the peace or by which a breach of the peace is likely to be occasions commits a misdemeanor. Where section 207 of the Criminal Offences Act.
That's right.
Enti boni se obi betu anamo na obeka bibia na sem no ebetimi agina ba bi se edi oye na o ha obebre o man na se ebetete asundue no a ye friend say o man no ewo no yes sa ni po obeye sa ade ewe no offense a o committee no offense a emrem no ye friend misdemeanor mi hu se ni amenka no wotwi mu eno ne charge a court no edi kan e de bo Abronye the etosumienu publication of false news contrary to section 2081 of the criminal code. Say yemremu no so obi di asembia enye nokore etudwa na ye di asenu begu nsani ani ahwese sa asem no a say nipa ne dia to dwa no enya no kra eno so otomra say obi aka be in the past na police for nche na eno nkyere sa amra no eni ho
wo kan ye nche
ye ene say so kan ye nche enti so obi ka say oh eno na wensu kan bi ene wensu kan bi na police for and trigger the processes of prosecution anche sa nipa kro no a nenne obi be kan ye chi no a enkyere sa nya de asamra no ewo ho eni ho. Publication of false news 720 say there na a person who publishes or reproduces a statement, rumor or report what is likely to cause fear and alarm to the public or to disturb the public peace, knowing or having reason to believe that the statement, rumor or report is false, commits misdemeanor. Asem no awoka no. Woni ni pepe say asem ya meken enye asem a aye no korre. Enye asem a edimu, enye asem a etiapo. Na akoso na oka yesi eno no eyade a eye bone a asotwe no omahene eyade a efra no misdemeanor. Enti bra Abronye ka say judge no wo political judge. Woni police fo hia ansa na watena asem so ni party ba power na judge ni behunu no. Police fo adwene kire wo say sa asemi eya asem a under section 207 and section 208 no ebetumi de basabasa ayede aba.
Okay.
Enti yede na court omahene eho police fo di fo na police fo ni fo. Woni police fo enya adwene a ene ye wasem but ohwe mre ya makan ya enya de police fo edi fo. Now yenko ensem no so omahene adendi na ye remande Abronye me pacho yenko back to section 96 no a me ma wo de to your friend say ofun so no message say the whole project no enko be call be a council for your friend say prosecution making argument no me kan be a omra from kakra be a prosecution making argument no be a prosecution won ho na maker message say obeko for mo a me say me reading the verbatim no ma ehwe no mete
we are vehemently opposed to bail.
So my lord, we are vehemently opposed to bail after Abronye lawyers no ka say money bill no and a prosecution no na say mo a omo boko no ma say mo a omo kani. My lord, we are vehemently opposed to bail. We want to rely on section 96(5) C and D. Eno except na mama wa project we will come back to that. And I read, my lord, as counsel for the accused stated, the accused is before this honorable court on a similar charge. Oma hinenti ansampo na yede Abronye ebeko Justice Joseph Kunson ne court or circuit court 9 no. Na o wa asem foforo ho dada. Sa asem na ti se we ya. Yama no police inquiry bail.
Okay.
Na eno no different. We ka ho a mienu. Nti na asem court ho dada. But so what you say. It is once he was on bail that this offense, the purpose of which we are in court today, is alleged to have been committed.
Say o kan ba ko no man bill no ko no asoke kan.
Was I can different one answer about for the second time.
Okay.
But also what you say. Section 2081 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960 Act 21. Read section 2096 read blah blah blah. The offense for which the accused is alleged to have committed, the reason for which we are in court is an offense if found guilty can attract a punishment of not more than 6 months. Anything I'm a reference say your friends the Criminal Offences Act offense now are committed a misdemeanor, not more than 6 months. It is for this basis that we believe that if the accused is granted bail, will lead to a further commission of the crime. If the accused is granted bail, it will lead to a further commission of the crime.
Almost say job Abronye.
Yeah. Obesa
the first one
akoye bio.
Ti you say January.
Obesa akoye bio. But also what you say. Yes, there's no problem with this one. We are natural. It's your understanding of the law. It's your understanding of the law. It is for this reason that we believe that if the accused is granted bail, it will lead to further commission of the crime. In Martin Pebu versus Attorney General, blah blah blah, Dote read, it is a prayer that the accused be remanded into prison custody until the final determination of this case. Hold on. Section 96. The exceptions to the grant of bail. Under Martin Pebu versus Attorney General, all offenses are bailable, but at the discretion of the judge.
General grant of bail under section 96(1).
Yes, under section.
The court has the discretion to grant bail to an accused person at any stage of the proceedings. Exceptions to bail. The court may refuse bail if it believes the accused will fail to appear for trial, interfere with witnesses, commit another offense.
Fantastic. One will say,
or if the offense is exceptionally severe.
Yes, so commit another offense. So under the exceptions, under section 96, one say,
okay, almost go to say, they use the exception to bail, no. The criteria that says I'm sure
yes, because now Debbie. Oh please. Bring back prosecution as a Marocan. Or say Abronye the kind of money me didn't about that. Yaman police inquiry bail. In the process of serving the bail, no. Was I a boni bill?
You see, he's in a court on a similar charge.
Yes. But just what you say. On a similar charge.
Okay. And they believe that if given the bailer, he will commit another offense.
Fantastic.
Of similar magnitude.
Yes, fantastic. But that's what I say. And the exception to the bail, no, I be done here, the number. You didn't buy an over bail, no, I granting the police inquiry bail. Was I committed similar offense under the law, and especially for Martin Pegu versus Attorney General? Say, why you born in Bida? Now, you see, the why be done, no, obey to me, aye. Now, Ukojina judge anymore. Judge no who say, oh yeah, the friend repetitive offender.
As a what years
hard no. Enti emu yan say ebede, ye be ma bail. Enti the person me can say, bail no a judge no refuse to Abronye no. It is in the law under section 96(5). Sir, judgment way a very fantastic judgment because every leg of the judgment no what threat the emra no tie. O ma hin mpa cho say dem can what you say. Enti obi ntimi nyina ba bi ka say judge no oboni sremu na otu sa na mo otu yen. Justice Joseph Kunsun oyobi amini no. Oye no nonsense judge. But o de emra no enso eye adwuma sen na wo se de emra na ede o ma hene eye adwuma. Enti me pese o mo ehwe ne o ma etie nyina ete ase se sen ya ma kirekire mu a me de emra no a kirekire mu aba no. Anamo o ma friends Abronye 2 ya okeka na adwene kire circuit court judge or what enter unprovoked or the camera scene anymore or ya Abronye no ya NPP ninti na ofiliso or wa kukudro se ne honorable ka se nyade a obejai we see ne bo said you obey ya na obey nti okeka na adwene kire judge no police for no adwene kire mu under section 207 and 208 kire o mo say wagu court no hu fi because did the judge atemu a enya judge ne nkwa na wadidi na atem bra na Godfrey Dami Attorney General no use word bi a scandalization of the court. Say court no no one ma court no nim aba animguase na watoto no agegemu. It is on the basis na ya charge Abronye this way. But oma you know oni bibi. Oni say original local judgment ya mede to ho no a. Court no ka say enke yemfa Abronye enko prison custody. Ena ne lawyers no plead say no. BNI. Oni say prosecution na oppose. The prosecution didn't oppose that. That's how come Abronye or end up. Your friend is a BNI custody. Otherwise, you would have ended up increasing custody. And this is the normative position of the law. What the law ought to be. Am I in about what you say?
So applying the law for you, there was nothing wrong.
Oh, but me, I am very interested in the law. On say Michelle said, "Ma kotu mrano kotu provision and the application of the law."
That's right.
Say obi si on tiasia eyono anadwene. But this is the normative position of the law.
Okay.
Oma hini so obi argue say na no can and me problem with me no any say. You see, aya na ohoro nsam no faso. Me pesa o kan nsam no a o ma the reasoning behind nsam no. Something like that in I mean so me tie no. Or say section 207 and section 208, they have become colonial relics. Just say, on some ray, me do two okay. Nina Yamra Yeno 1960. Baku 1960. And about 1961. Me can the Criminal Offences Act and the Criminal Offences Procedure Act. Nimi onu nya de kro. Baku Act 29, Baku Act 30. Nina Yamra. Yes, the procedure no, they implemented the substantive law.
The one.
Baku ni 1961, Baku 1962. These were laws are passing at a time na Ghana what be abibo. You passing at a time na opposition no eha Kwame Nkrumah CPP aban no. So the culture of the day informed the promulgation of these laws. But also what I say, ene ye wo 2026 ebinim fili se emra we are in Canada
its usefulness
but eno nkyere se ni books ni mo
as long as
yes mbra ebinim fili se ache ntinya repeal as somebody interested in the law so obi ka sa mene no ya adwene se emra no de dynamic nti ye kwa yanim no na nsakra ye dey ba but also what you say se o ka sa enkyere se emra ne nye we can sit at a table and amply have a conversation like that to see what we can do about the law.
Okay.
Enti mene sa nipa na oma hine o ka sa mene ne dey mene ne ya adwene but eno nkyere se emra ne nye obi nso betumi aka say these two laws 207 208 emu by so ambiguous say police for person mo bo buga ye betumi ya dane no de wakohyem
okay
obi kan say amenyi na chinie because there's a certain amount of subjective elements in the law then who say you're offensive the judge will have to determine that but prima facie police for na dwunum say na omo dwuni ntia aya na ye chi obi menini ni say problem no but the politics of it the hypocrisy is what we must condemn. Say Oman chiro letter akoma diplomatic institutions na Oman hino obi any problem Ghana is sovereign state ye ne embassies ni high commissions e wo Ghana ha ni nyina wa yonkofa because ye nso e obi e wo omo aman so but ebi aminu e onim saade no there's one thing I like to tell him embassies na e wa ha no omo hwe economic opportunities omo ni omo aban omo countries ebenya and omo san hwe de ekoso wa no ma report wa ma omo man a esani ma omo o kind the Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relations and the Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Treaty the me kan nyina no ewom but the fact of the matter is this omo ntimi enkyere yen they can report what happens here to their mother state but omo ntimi nkyere Ghana aban de Ghana aban enye of course ye be improve nkitahudie na ye de nyoma be e pese ye kan de am but there's obviously nothing about it. Why yenye opposition? Now you throw letters and diplomatic institutions. Now say most money say Bank of Ghana aboka 15 billion Ghana cedis. Bramo boka 60 billion in 2022. Match all the akwa IMF. Any problem, even though it is laughable. There's no problem with that. So I mean that's it. But the hypocrisy of it. Look, Abronye bi no anya so to constituency of the NDC no your branch executive your friend Mohammed Ibrahim in October 2024 ena Nana Akufo-Addo ne ba me aban no omo charges Abronye no and 2 laws ya makoti omo yin say o serve 4 years please mbato me ba me no ka say mbato please who ka say no say my dey da be nyabo tira who ka say man ka say no please no please
no dey ka say ba ko na
4 years.
He's out.
Please.
He's not in prison.
Yeah, charging him 4 years. Yeah, them.
He's not in prison.
Yeah,
he's not in prison.
You see, just bring the fact. Number 2, Omahine. So your friends say you Abronye or TV XYZ.
Daniel.
And also similar to say the Abronye Kenya during the election petition. Or say judges no, omo unanimous FC.
Or come 10 days.
Yes, omone Nana Akufo-Addo shi answer na wa be mom judgment. Do you know what it means? Yeche no, they say the yache Abronye. Or co process ni they say the yache Abronye. Ye convicting they say or ye ex convict
for 10 days.
Yes, because see a contempt of court criminal. Oba ye no say do me be okọ US embassy so okọ visa. Onya visa because you say or ye dey or ye ex convict. Why a journalist o? But also what you say? Bongo ideas. Or can't say me for Nana Akufo-Addo ne yere ho. And I'm talking about the hypocrisy nyatwom ne atori hypocrisy e NPP ho. Ya kwachi bongo ideas. Onumpo security agencies na che no. O me achi no ni ohuni pakro. Ye che no ma almost 3 days na ye hu ba bi o. One can say new Captain Smart. On Ghana mani hunu. What me kire na adwun wo radio so obepie ni ejina ho na ya che no. And Nana Akufo-Addo no ba mia. Aban na mi ni o ye DC wo mu ane. Ni chepe asori a also one thing who wants to cry was studio high. But now some back all can. So that's the hypocrisy of the NPP argument. Or see, you can see about nearby reset, nearby idea near